Hi, my name is Kuljeet Kaur. My student ID is 303777458. I am going to present presentation on team process design case study. The name of the case study Belrat Beauty Basis. My other group mates are Sukhveer Kaur, Gaurang Patel, Suraj Dakal. Introduction. There are two types of the business model. One is the traditional business model and second is the newer business process model. The current business scenario is for the salon who provide the services for the customer. There are two types of the customer. One category of the customers are the existing customers and second category of the customers are new customers. If the customer is a new customer, then the customer registration procedure will be run. Else, the old customer process will be initiated. The old customer has to be matched with the profile information so that the profile can be matched the appointment detail. If the match is done, then the existing customers will be allowed to enter into the system for treatment at the allocated time. The new customer has to give the various detail of himself. Once all the details are given to the staff, the registration process will be taken place. The existing customers are given with the various type of discount on the various type of packages. The new customer once will be registered will be allowed to enter into the system. Process categorization model. The business process modeling is the complete flow of activities that are to be taken place for the customer for having treatment in the clinic. There are the various sequence of the steps that are be followed having the system to complete the given activity. In this case, customer will enter into the system, perform all type of the processes and then come out from the system. The customer will, with the appointment, arrive to the clinic. While the treatment is related to the hair, nail, skin is provided, the customer has appointment for specific time. The two-way, there is a various type of the product specification for the customer for selection which type of the services a person want to get, and the package has been selected while having appointment. The second is there is the electronic format of the data for the customer where staff perform the searching and updation. The further following the 5 steps, there will be the treatment for the customer as per the appointment. The clinic offer various beauty production for the customers. There are the different type of the packages and there will be the final bill that to pay to the customers. And the customer comes out from the clinic. Capability maturity model. The capability maturity model is a systematic way to conducting research in the processing engineering. The aim of the capability maturity model will be define the work in the prescribed way so that the process can be optimized. The implementation of this model will help to smooth running of the business function, positively influence the efficiency and performance. The 5 stages. First is the initial. The process are unpredictable, poorly controlled and reactive. The second process is planned, documented, performed, monitored and controlled at the project level, often reactive. During the defined stage, all the processes are well defined, documented, standardization and integrated usually into the software for the entire organization. Processes are controlled using satisfaction and other qualitative techniques. The last is during the optimization stage, proactive process improvement is implemented through qualitative feedback. This helps in developing the new ideas and technique. Case function matrix. The whole system is based on the sequential process which include various sequence of sub-steps that are performed for doing the activity. In the current task, the customer for taking the services from the salon require have the various sequential steps. These are the activities and treatment process and customer sign in sign out. The first step, look at the available packages and select the packages, take the appointment for the treatment for cleaning, dealing the various types of the beauty treatments. Then the customer arrive in the cleaning, fix times and take the prescribed treatments, the activities performed by the staffs and beauty product and place a bill at the last. In the new customer arrive 15 minutes earlier than the appointment for registration process. Then the various type check the various products appointment while existing. The various steps are operation performed by staffs and paying the bill and complete bill to staff member. Thank you from my side. Next proceed by Sukhveer Kaur.
Hello everyone, my name is Sukhveer Kaur and my student ID is 30378752. So continuing to the presentation, I will explain more in next few slides. So process model for beauty treatment from salon. There are various sequential steps that are to be performed for taking the services from the clinic. The customer will provided with the services related to the selected package at the time of the appointment. The business process model will be to define the gateway at the start of the system. It will identify that the customer who is entering into the system is old customer or a new customer. If the customer is new customer is if the customer is new customer, then the customer registration procedure will be run, else the old customer process will be initiated. The old customer has to be matched with the profile information so that the profile can be matched to the appointment details. If the match is done, then the existing customer will be allowed to the enter into the system for the treatment at the allotted time. The new customer has to give various details of himself. Once all the details are given to the staff, the registration process will be taken place. So this process model is for entering and exiting the salon. The process for entry and exit is having procedure that is related to the electronic documentation for the customer. There are various procedures that taken place before and after the treatment. Here the new customer arrives at the salon will be checked with the various types of profile information. The staff asks from the customers about the various types of details from the customer so that the customer can be registered to the system. There are plenty of the rules and registrations that are to be followed for completing the uh, whole exercise. Now for 7 PGM discussion for performing beauty treatment at the clinic. There are various of the activities that are taken place for to complete the process of treatment once the customer arrives at the salon. There are various processes started from the appointment, taking the services of the treatment, and then finally pay the total bill for the treatment, and the product for the personal beauty is paid. So this discussion for entering and exiting the salon. The customer enter into the clinic by having various details giving or checking the details. Once the details are checked, person enter into the salon. The customer at the exit will be having enter to of the records for the treatment and exit from the clinic. So that's it from my side, and now the next slides will be discussed by my friend Gaurang Patel. Thank you.
Hello, I am Gaurang Patel. My student ID number is 30353167. Here I am going to talk about cycle time for beauty treatment for salon. This cycle time for the treatment at the salon is the total time that will be required for completing the activity. The total time will be including all the sub-activities that will be required to complete the whole activity. There are plenty of the sub-activities that are required to be completed. We can look in this slide. There are different activities. There will be section of the treatment package for the person beauty in the category of hair, nails, skin, etc. There are 105 minutes in this activity. There are different packages with the specific time. Their treatment requires 30 minutes. There will be some extra effort is required for the nail treatment, hence requires extra time 45 minutes. The electronic update for the records for the treatment details 5 minutes. Then we can going on the next slide. The cycle time for entering and exiting the salon. This shows the cycle time for the entry and exiting to the salon. The entry and exiting will be including the total time take per person to register and also to perform various set of activities. The first one is that The customer enter into the salon. Various details are confirmed from the existing customers and provide with the sanitize for hand sanitization. There is 5 minutes. There are various type of details are asked from the customer if the customer is new 30 minutes. The new customer will come bit earlier for the documentation activities. This is 15 minutes required. There is a staff fixing the new appointments is only 5 minutes. Next slide. Redesign model for treatment for salon. The whole business process is having a lengthy process of the registration and also another office related activities for the new and old customers. The customer will require a large time to enter into the salon and also for exit from the salon. Then we can go on the next slide of this topic. Redesign for a beauty treatment for salon. The process can be automated by involving some step of automation. The major time consuming steps are appointment and payment documentation. This step can be having some level of automation so that the time can be saved from the clinic and the customers. Thank you from my slide. Next continue by Suraj. Thank you.
Redesign model for entering and leaving the salon. The lengthy registration procedure can be done in parallel to the treatment. So if anyone wants the treatment, then they don't have to wait for a lengthy procedure to do the registration. So they can do the both of the tasks at the same time. The person who is dealing with the registration process has to go in parallel for treatment by the therapist. And the entry and exit procedure of the customer start with various office related work activities. This includes the updation of the data, the registration, and the customer exits from the treatment clinic by paying the complete bill. So throughout the whole process, sequential steps are followed. So due to which the customer comes to the clinic and does the registration and the treatment at the same time. So the process model for entering and exiting the salon. So new and existing customers, so it has two branches. If it is a new one, then it does the registration with the correct details using their own system while at home. Whereas if the customer is coming to the salon before, then he just goes to the treatment against the appointment, and at last the customer will leave the clinic. Automation for beauty treatment from salon. So the process starts from the customer, and the customer sends the booking query. Then the booking query goes to customer field form, so where the customer will fill the form. Then the whole process goes to a system, the system process and stores in a place and sends out a required data. So the data that would be coming out from the system would be the services that the clinic provide to the customer. In this way, the treatment of a customer is done in a sequential order followed by subsequence, which is done by the system. Concluding the whole process, the process model is a semantic and sequential process which requires some steps that need to be performed to complete the activity. Here all of the activities are divided into sequence, and the sequence are further divided into subsequence, so that all of the process can be run simultaneously at the same time. So there is lots of activities that are going on which are called subsequence. So when the customer enters the clinic, then he has to go through the various steps which are further minimized into sub steps. So in this way the whole process gets done simultaneously. So the process engineer will look at this step and try to minimize the number of steps that are unnecessary and creating inefficiency into the system. So here the engineer would be very concerned about the unnecessary steps, which would decrease the efficiency of the system and increases the time required for the whole process. So the improved process will give higher level of efficiency for the system in many ways and leads to the same financial resource for the business. So here, if the system is improved and is regularly checked, then it provides the greater efficiency for the system, and the financial resources of the business could be saved or could be run on the same state, but with the various functions running simultaneously at the same time. The references and queries. Thank you very much.